right, in today's episode, we're going to talk all things halo.
An angel halo is like a beautiful...
Not that kind of halo.
All
Engagement ring halos. Stay tuned.
Out of all the engagement ring styles out there, halo is the most polarizing. You either love it or you hate it. But some of you out there are going to think you hate it, and then you try it on, and it's the one for you.
Not uncommon. We have some clients that say, hey, they're dead set against halos. They've seen them in the mall, not crazy about them at all. But you might all of a sudden see one on someone's hand, makes you fall in love with it, makes you reconsider what you thought. And a lot of the cases, it's just a small little tweak to it, and it can alter the look and feel of that ring quite a bit. And what we're gonna do today is we're gonna kind of break down the components, kind of walk you guys through that. For those of you that are already bought into doing a halo, hopefully it'll help you kind of articulate what it is that you like, and particularly for your halo.
Having a halo can do a lot of things. Most importantly, it will make the center diamond look way bigger. There's going to be way more sparkle, and it's really glamorous.
So to figure out your halo style, we're just going to boil it down to 5 questions you're going to answer. And answering those 5 questions, you're going to be able to figure out the exact kind of halo that you're going to want. So we'll start with this type or style of halo. Okay, so you're going to have either a seamless, a layered, or a spaced. Seamless, my favorite. Okay, it is a beautiful look. Essentially, when you're looking at it from the top down, it looks like it just closely hugs the center stone. Okay, now how does this look, or how is it created? It's a little bit complicated. Number one, you have to start with the center stone first. The way that we build it, you got to wrap the halo around the center stone. If you look at it from this profile view, it's really subtle, but we're going to just tilt the stones at a little bit of an angle, and then you make it airtight. The way that you do it, it's really careful on execution, but the way that it all comes together, it just beautifully flows. Okay, and a lot of people, in my experience, that aren't into halos necessarily, sometimes they see a seamless halo and they love it. Next one, layered. Okay, the layered halo is probably the most common one. If you go into a typical mall and you go to the jewelers, this is a halo that you most commonly see. In my experience, a lot of the people that don't like halos, often when they think of it for whatever reason, it's a layered. But here's a layered halo. Here's your definition. Okay, so if you look at it from the side view, the center stone's flat, it's raised above. Feels like a layered cake to me, But basically, the center stone stands out from it. Reason is probably the most common is these are mass produced in a sense. Whereas when you're looking at something like a seamless, that's got to be made, like handmade to the exact stone. Okay. What some people like about a layered though is the center stone stands out from the halo a little bit more versus like something like the seamless where it just all blends in together. Finally, you got your space. This is a little bit of a different animal altogether. Okay. It's literally where there is intentional negative or empty space between the center and the halo, and that's just like a fun different way to do it. Obviously it makes it look a lot bigger, but it is completely different.
The second thing to consider about halos are the size of the stones in the halo. We're going to break it down to micro, classic, and large. So with the micro, we're usually going to be using stone sizes of 1 millimeters to 1.25 millimeters. This will give an aesthetic of really like a very tight setting style. You're going to have even more stones set around the focal diamond, and it's really going to give off like a glittering effect, a really tight, seamless glittering effect. When we're getting into classic, typically the most popular size is going to be a 1.5 millimeters. It's sort of on that cusp. It's still dainty and small, but you're starting to see the stones a little bit more singularly, so it is giving a little bit more depth to the halo. Finally, if we're going to consider large size, we're probably looking at 1.75 millimeters to 2 millimeters. I'd even say for large, we've done halos that are like 2.5 to 3 millimeters, really accentuating the stones around the focal stone, so it really has a different aesthetic. You're going to start to see those halo stones really come across singularly, which really does add a unique effect to the center diamond.
All right, next thing you're going to think about is going to be the halo shape. So there's the contour, there's the alternate, and one we'll just call unique, okay? So the way that we've been made, we really do perceive reality, and no much more true so in terms of this thing here. So look at this one. So if you can put a square cushion halo, and what that does is it doesn't matter whatever the shape is in the middle, It's going to make the middle stone look like the same shape as your halo. So some people like to alternate it, meaning like the shape of your halo differs from the shape of your center stone. So you could do it with like a rectangular halo with an oval, or like a square cushion with a round. And it's a great way to do it. Sometimes you might just like the way a certain shape sparkles, but you have a different preference for the shape. Great way to mismatch and kind of get what you want. Others, let's call it a purist. If you like a round stone and you want it to look round, you're going to make the shape of your halo match your stone. Okay, square on square, round on round, for example. Last one is just unique. Okay, so those of you that are just a little bit more creative, want a little bit more design. This is where you can just get fun. You know, you can have whatever you want in the center and just a variety. You know, and these are ones that we love to just explore with our clients. But yeah, those are your three main options. All right, next, setting style, the way the stones are set in the halo. Okay, and this is big too. So the most common one is fine tiger claw. You're gonna basically see 4 little claws around every single stone. And it's just subtle, minimal metal around the stones, really kind of looks beautiful, okay? Another variation that's very common is the bead set. And bead set's a little bit different, but what a bead set does is it creates this little thin line or thin outline around the stones. So sometimes you can do it just plain. Sometimes you can do it, you can add a mill grain border, which adds like a little bit more of an antique-ish kind of feel to it. It's kind of like eyeliner for me, or that's the way I envision it. It just kind of creates a very definitive outline for it.
The other 2 setting styles that I'd like to introduce now would be considered more whimsical, more artistic. The first one would be a star-studded setting. So a star-studded setting, what will happen will be the prong will be at the top of the stone. It really does come to an apex. It does look more like a star motif around the halo. It really has some nice visual impact to the overall halo and gives it a different profile. Finally, we'll discuss share prong. Share prong basically means, so there will be a single prong in between the stones of the halo. It creates a really cool visual effect. The halo looks like bubbles.
All right, last one, big one. It's gonna be whether you want shoulders or not, okay? So here's the thing. So if you have 2 rings, it's not gonna make a huge difference, but it will impact the way that it presents or feels a little bit. It's the way that we'll describe it. So if you do it without shoulders, what does that do? It makes the center stone or the center halo section just really pop. Makes your brain and eye just go right to it, okay? Can make it even look bigger for some people as a result. Whereas if you decide to do it with shoulders, it's a little bit more nuanced, but the way that we describe it is it tends to make your brain or your eye kind of look at the ring as a whole. And it can also even make, for some people, it can make the halo feel like it's sitting lower.
So there you have it. Those were 5 tips. I hope it was able to shed light on a very glamorous engagement ring style. When you're ready, contact us and we'd be happy to meet with you in store or virtually online.